This beanie, why do I wear it? It comes from a bigger picture. So first, I'm just going to say that this is going to tie into everything you guys do. So if you're interested in the origin story of the beanie, that's great. But also, this might help you in some other way. Let me explain. The first thing about why I wear this beanie, it started early on when I was making these YouTube videos religiously. Like every day, I knew I had to make a video. You may ask, how did you know you had to make a video every day? Because I just knew. Nobody told me, but I knew I wanted to get somewhere on this platform sooner than later. So I knew I had to make a video every day. The more stuff you look up, it'll say consistency and all this stuff. They don't usually point to a video a day, but to me, that was always the answer. I don't know why I knew it. I just knew a video a day helps way more than anything else. The reason being YouTube, the algorithm, it's like a beast. You have to feed the beast all the time consistently. And if you don't, your progress slows down. It's like a handshake deal you make with this algorithm that says, if I give you stuff every day, are you going to put me out? The algorithm says yes. As soon as you stop and break the deal, they don't put you out anymore. Very, very simple. So, and I know this from experience because within like a month ago or whatever, when I took like a week off, everything slowed down for me, just in terms of the numbers. So like you could do it for a year straight and then take a week or two off, and then you'll notice there's a huge difference in what happens afterwards because you broke the deal. You didn't feed the beast. So let me explain. I'm over here thinking to myself on like day 2 of making a video every day or something. Like I noticed it real early. I was like, I got to go make a video right now. So I got to stop what I'm doing and do that. Now I'd sit down and make a video and I'd say to myself, man, my head looks scraggly because I have a shaved head. And if you let your shaved head go like 4, 5, 6 days without shaving it, because that's not something that's like part of, like I don't love shaving my head every day. It's just something I do, when I'm trying to look sharp. But if I'm not trying to look sharp, you let it go 4, 5, 6 days without shaving your head. So it would get to the point where I'd be sitting there and go, man, my head looks scraggly. I got to go shave my head before I do this. So what I realized was I was putting an obstacle in the way of me being able to sit here and deliver a message, whatever it is, about anything. I have to sit down and deliver a message, and now there's something that's blocking me from doing that directly. Now, think about, if you ever seen Rick Beato's channel, you know who Tim Pierce is. Tim Pierce is one of these amazing studio musicians who's played guitar on so many things you probably don't even realize he's on. And that dude has a setup at his place where he records everything, where his amps, his pedals, all his, his preamp setup, everything, every amp head, it's all right there within arm's reach. So he doesn't have to move anywhere to get anything done. Now, the reason he's set up in that way, he's got switches to switch between amps. He's got all sorts of stuff at his fingertips to switch mics, to switch amps, to switch pedals, so that he doesn't have to say to himself, man, I do want a different sound on the guitar for this part of the song, but I don't want to get up and go do it. We've all been there. We're all human. We all experience the same thing. He knows that if he's got to get up and go change the mic and switch, now plug a different amp in and do anything he's got to get up and go do is going to make him not want to do it. He's going to sacrifice quality. He's going to sacrifice what could be a better sound on his recording because he's got to get up and go move stuff and go change the amp around and change the... So what he set up is a way where he can do it all at his fingertips so that he's never compromising what he really wants. So that's the point. You remove obstacles in your way, and everyone does this on every level who is very successful. Like, think Mixbus TV, David. His stuff's all around him at arm's reach. He doesn't have to go crawl to the back and unplug things and replug stuff in to get what he wants to change. He's got one of those flock patch bay things for this reason, to avoid patching stuff when you want to just recall setups and have everything be easy. There's a reason why people do these things that makes sense when you're thinking on the level of if you're trying to become a pro, you must eliminate those things that make you have to go do things because it will make you not want to do it. So in order to be a pro, you have to want to do it. It has to be easy so that you can do it and achieve the results you want. Everyone who's a pro understands this. So when I was sitting there going, man, I got to go do this before I make a video. By the second day I was doing that, I was like, you know what? The second time I had to do that, I was like, why am I doing this? I need to just throw a hat on. That way I never have to worry about whether my hair is 4 days too long to look good because it's not shaved. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to get that as eliminated from the conversation, I just started wearing this beanie. That's why. Because it removed the obstacles, so I could get down to business. Anytime I had an idea, I could just shoot. And I don't need to put an hour or 20 minutes, and now I got to shower after I shave my head. People do this all the time in a lot of things, like working out, for example. You don't know how many people say to themselves, well, before I work out, I got to eat. And then after I eat, I need to digest. So they wind up not working out as much because they must plan their ability to cook the food they want, and it's got to be a certain kind of food and healthy. That's obvious, right? But then you got to digest, and then you can work out. Whereas the people who are successful, who work out all the time, they come up with another way. Like, they might always do the protein shake before they work out, so that they at least don't have to think about the cooking, and they don't have to think about all the digesting. They just do that on their way to the gym. By the time they get there, they're ready to roll. It's a whole different mindset when you make everything streamlined, linear to where you're trying to go, compared to putting any obstacles in the way, because any obstacles will get in your way, slow you down, and make you not do it sometimes. And then you're just like everybody else who's half-assing. Whereas the other way, you're not. So that's the point. You have to build these things in. So that's another reason why I'm sitting here with the beanie rolled up the way I do, this flipped up thing. This came out of necessity because I, like a lot of you, I'm sure, and this is a little bit funny probably, but how many of us have mixed a song wearing the beanie the way we typically would, where it's like folded down over our ears, like the typical way people wear a beanie? How many people mix a song like this? And then you realize when you get done that the freaking thing makes everything dull. So you wind up brightening up the mix. And then when all of a sudden you go, oh man, I realized my beanie's over my ears. You take off the beanie. Now your mix sounds like they're shining 1,000 lumen flashlights at your ears, sonically. The freaking thing is the brightest it's ever been, and there's no reason for it. And you're dying in here, and they got to change so much stuff. So anybody who is mixing stuff regularly, or recording stuff, because if you're producing, you have to make decisions on how bright things are, if you're EQing on the way in, and a bunch of different things. So if you're turning your amp to set it, you got to make sure you don't have stuff blocking your ears. And wearing a beanie the way I traditionally wore it for years was getting in the way of that, because I would forget. I think on the second time I forgot, I said, never again. Every time I put on a beanie, I just flip the freaking thing up so that it's over my ears. And then I never have to think about remembering to take it off or move it when I'm mixing a song. I could just mix a song, and I don't have to ever have anything in the way that then causes me to redo mix decisions that I made, and now I got to remake. So that's another fail safe, that nothing gets in my way from getting to the end goal, which in that case is a finished mix that I'm happy with, that I don't have to redo things on. Whatever's in your way, it's making your life harder. And because it makes your life harder, it makes you not want to do it. So just consider that we are all the same. And the more things you put in the way, and that's like something I was talking about yesterday, where if you say every time you come home that you need a nap before you do whatever, how many of you just take that nap, never wind up doing things? You never get down to business. The nap doesn't turn into nap, and then I work. Eliminate the nap. You're putting something in between what you could be just going to work, working on what you supposedly want to do. Instead, you do this thing in the middle that winds up halting you from doing everything else. If you always got to do something and then eat whatever, well, figure out a way to eat, grab a protein shake, man, make it happen. Eliminate the nonsense in between the stuff. That will make a huge difference. And if you're interested in seeing what's under the beanie, all you got to do is go back far enough on my videos and you'll see it, but if you want a beanie reveal, one of these days I'll probably drop that. But the bottom line, You know, do what works for you, and don't be afraid to try new stuff and to do stuff that nobody else is doing. I never saw anybody wear a hat like this. Maybe I'm the first one. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. Either way, you know, I appreciate you watching. That's the point. So, hope you got it. I hope you dig it. Throw a comment in there. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Talk to you guys soon. Evan Jaffe, Custom Cut Studios. You guys got this. Take it easy.